Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's PreMarket Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I've been a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Friday edition of Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep. Spencer Israel here with Joel Elconin and Dennis Dick on the show today. We've got a quad witch. We've got some earnings still trickling in. We have another bidder apparently for Qualcomm. We're still not done with that deal. I wish we were. And our guest today will be Nick Donato from our very own Benzinga News Desk. He's going to break down the video game sector for us. Take-Two and Activision Blizzard and EA and all that. That'll be at 8:35. Plus, we have the Dropbox IPO. Can't forget about that. That'll be around usually around 10 o'clock that it happens. Joel, tell us how we're doing this morning in the S&Ps. Joel, you're with us.
Joel, sleeping at the wheel.
Sleeping on the wheel. Okay.
Is he, Joel, are you there?
I got there. I'm there.
What's going on? What's going on? You sleeping?
All right, we're good.
You're still just celebrating there. He can't get
he's too
his
hungover.
Mind off the game.
He's hungover.
Get your mind on the game.
It's the team,
it's the
guys.
stock market game.
The team. Okay.
I'm not even sure Spencer's showing your shirt.
Spencer, show my shirt.
You have like the rest of your show to see your shirt. Let's look at the charts right
The team put my shirt on the show, Spencer, now.
Oh my God,
That's what my 3-year-old would say to me. Do it now.
There, it's up on the screen.
Okay. All right, Michigan update. Okay, they're in the final 48 here as the teams wind down here. So Michigan wins last night. Did not get the game over until almost 1 o'clock, and then my buddy stuck around for beer. So late night for me. Yeah, but I'm in a great mood
already for when you're on mute.
Yes, so I have excuses already. S&P futures. Man, Dennis, we got a well-defined area here. We have a double close right here at 27.55. We have your daily pivot right there. So a lot of congestion at 27.55. Pre-market high, 59.50. Pre-market low, 50.25. So, man, we're just stuck right now. So hands off on the keyboard right now. Crude is up 17 cents at 61.36. Gold is up 240 at 13.20, and silver's up nearly 4 cents at 16.47. Bitcoin clinging to the $8,000 level, trading down a little bit less than 1%, 8171.69. So I don't know. I heard Peter Thiel talking up Bitcoin. I don't know.
What's Peter saying? What's Peter saying?
He said, well, it's going to be like a major current. You know, he said blockchain is going to be here. It's going to be a major currency, something else to replace gold. But he's really
saying he likes Bitcoin because blockchain and Bitcoin are two different things. So he was talking blockchain or Bitcoin.
I heard him. Well, what he said is that there's going to be an alternative currency, but he's not sure it's going to be Bitcoin.
Well, that's exactly. I agree. I mean, that's been the whole argument here on how do you come in here with 1,500 of these things and say this is the one. I mean, it's the same thing as the internet bubble. There was 1,500 internet stocks to choose from. How'd you know Amazon was going to be the one? How did you know it wasn't going to be the pet store, pets.com? I mean, everybody can look in hindsight and say, well, Amazon had to figure out. Amazon started as online book seller. Well, the pets.com started as online pet food seller. I mean, really, there wasn't that much difference. It's Amazon obviously knew what they were doing. So it's difficult here. And you know, the other thing obviously is there isn't a company that's like running Bitcoin here. It's just out there. It's already there. It is what it is. So somebody develops something better. It's not like, okay, well, we'll switch this up. You know, this current Bitcoin. Well, yeah, they've switched it up already. They got Bitcoin Cash now because it seems to be better. But that doesn't help the Bitcoin investor. It's not like a company that's running Bitcoin that can improve on it. So it's tricky, man. This cryptocurrency market, even if you believe that there's going to be an alternative currency or a cryptocurrency that's going to eventually replace, you know, a lot of, you know, fiat currencies, and this is their case. I mean, how do you know which one it is? And how do you know it's not going to be something better? You know, we've invented the wheel. Have they made it round yet? So that's why I'm out. I'm not touching any of this crypto stuff, at least not until, I'm out for the foreseeable future, because first of all, I don't understand the valuation. Secondly, I don't know who the winner is going to be. So there's just too much risk for the reward, in my opinion here.
Dennis, what do you think in all the cryptocurrencies, what the market cap is?
It's you can go to CoinMarketCap, because I do watch this, and it was around. So I'm the wrong person to ask. I know the answer. It was around 350 billion yesterday. So okay, well, it's down. It's because it's down again. 326 billion. How'd I do?
Yeah, you're right there. You got it.
So 326 billion. All these cryptocurrencies. But where was this market cap at the beginning of the year? It was like 700 or 800 billion, was it not?
Yeah,
so actually, you have been more than cut in half. So more than half of the Bitcoin money and more than half of all this crypto money has been lost in the last 2 months. It's something all these advertisements on my Twitter do not tell me. They just tell me it's the best investment ever. Well, it's not the best investment ever if you were buying in January. So I still think, I just don't know who's going to be the winner here. Maybe it's going to be Bitcoin. Maybe it's going to be Bitcoin Cash. Maybe it's going to be some Bitcoin that's even created yet. Or maybe it's Ethereum, or maybe it's Ripple. Who knows? So it's so difficult to say, okay, I'm going all in on this one when there's 1,500 of them to choose from. Now, 1,564 of them to choose from is what CoinMarketCap says. So I'm out. This is just too much risk for me.
You know what? Our Bitcoin special, did we nail the top? I mean,
we did. We did. And I was the only bear on the show.
No, you weren't.
We had Sloozy. And
Jim Angel
was great. Yeah. We had Angel. We had Saluzzi. We had a lot of bulls. It's hard. And what about CNBC? So we're in a crypto rant here this morning, but do they have a bull on Fast Money every single night? All I've ever seen on Fast Money is, they say, well, Bitcoin's down today, but this analyst is coming on and telling you that, this is the time to buy. They say that every day, but it goes lower every day. Is it really just, why is CNBC so pumped for the cryptos? Is it really helping their ratings? Is that what it is?
I think it's
like
upping,
they all own Bitcoin because all they do is talk positive. They never talk negatively about it.
It's upping everyone's ratings. It happened to us too. It's upping
ratings too.
Yeah, but
we don't care about ratings here on the show.
Not
we care about just informing listeners. And I've been off the crypto bandwagon forever. Not getting.
Never got on it.
I never got on it. I've been against it the whole way up, so I was wrong the whole way up. I've been right the whole way down. We'll see. I was bearish when I started first looking at Bitcoin. It was around 2000. That's really when I started to analyze it. And I'm like, I don't get it. So I was wrong from 2000 to 20,000. I've been right from 20,000 to 8,000. So I'm still wrong overall. Not that I made a trade in it, but I never liked it, from all the way up. I've never liked it all the way down. Joel, on the other hand, played it perfectly. Bought the breakout the first time over 8,000, rode it up to 20,000, got out at what, like 17 or something? You got out a piece of it?
I got two trenches. I got out part at 16, and then I kind of had like a sell stop at 10 grand. But when it was at 11 grand, I sold it because I was just like, it's going under 10 grand. But quiet consolidation here.
Perfect trading from Joel. The technical trader dominates technical trading of Bitcoin. You should just be a crypto trader. Because you don't have to worry about any of the fundamental stuff. You just have to worry about the charts. See, with equities, you got to worry about all the other stuff. Oh, what's the earnings? Well, what does this look like? What's you got to look at all these other things. I guess sentiment you can look at, but you got to look at what's the economy do? What's Trump gonna do? With crypto, you just look at the chart.
Okay. All right. There's a lot of news here that we need to get to, Dennis. Quad witch, triple witch. I mean, let's can we just give a quick explanation to our listening audience what that is and what the possible implications are?
You can explain if you want, but it's the expiration of one of the four, Joel. So quad witch, me and you don't like the quad witch. We still call it triple witch because we're old school and we don't like the stock futures, which I don't think anybody trades anyways. But it's the expiration of options, the equity options, the expiration of S&P. Name them all off because I'm brain dead this morning. I'm tired too. Actually, I'm go ahead.
Okay. It's
four. Name the four.
Name the four. Okay. Stock index futures.
Yes.
Stock index options.
Yes.
Stock options.
Yes.
And single stock futures.
I think you got it there. So that's the four. That's the expiration. What happens? What's all you need to know? You don't need to know all that stuff. All you need to know is that you have a lot of institutional action trading this day because they have a lot of other positions that they're going to be jockeying equities against. So what does that mean? It means the stocks can open kind of funny and they can close really funny. That's really the bulk of it. So obviously the options expire at the end of the day. So you're going to see everybody, working those equity positions against the options, because the big money, that's how they do it. They don't just trade out of the option because the options are illiquid. They trade the stock against the options. That's what we do at Bright Trading too, if you're in options, because we got prop money to play with. So if I'm in something, I'm going to trade the stock against it because I got a 1 cent spread a lot of times in the stock. I don't want to trade a nickel spread on the option. So your market makers all usually jockey the stock against the option. What does that mean? It means if you've got 20 calls on stock XYZ and stock goes up to 2010, they sell short the 2010 stock against 20 calls, locking in 10 cents. If it goes back down to 1990, they buy it. So we see a lot of pinning action. You see a lot of stocks that can't seem to get away from those strikes. It's not market manipulations. It's just the natural dynamics of the market. As you've got, people who are selling the stock against their open call positions, and the opposite works on puts. So that's just the natural pinning action that happens in the markets. It's not manipulation, because you see it all the time. These market makers are manipulating the stock to pin. No, they're not. It's the natural dynamics of the market that are causing it to pin. So there's no manipulation at all happening there.
And there's choppy action. I mean, and that's what you saw for a lot of the week. John Dodson made a note of that. And but what's not choppy and what's not, there's some news here, which I'm not too happy about because I do not have a position anymore. FireEye just went over $19 here, up $1.03. Strong day yesterday. John Dodson says pop on uncovering China hack. What did
David
you
B is saying CNBC speculated Symantec could be a buyer here for it too. So they're saying that could be in play.
Oh, man. Well,
I know.
anyway.
I'm kicking myself on this one too, Joel, because both of us have been pretty bullish as FireEye. And I've been bullish for probably the last year. Never put it in the portfolio. Thought about it multiple times. That 14 would have been huge. 15, 16. Obviously, it's up at 19 now. Now I feel like I'm late to the party here. Sometimes you just got to chase. And you know what? It gets me sometimes in the investment portfolio because I don't like chasing. I wait. Oh, well, if it's up 14, it's like, oh, I'll get it back on the pullback, and I don't get it, and then it's gone. So now it's blasting off into orbit. I'm not chasing it this morning. It's gone.
It's gone. The Sean Udall favorite, who we tried to get on this morning, but we haven't been able to reach him. 1924 is your pre-market high. We have not been in the 20 handle. Well, we went to 1963. What a great year that was. In March of 2016. So we could be heading there. Above that, things are wide open. Couple highs in the 22 handle back in late 2015 and early 2016. But for now, 1963 is the bogey here if you're looking for a potential resistance point in FireEye.
Jump into earnings parade, and there was a lot of them. Let's go to interesting one here, Broadcom, AVGO. It is trading down here in the pre-market. It's not down much. Give us the numbers, Spencer, and I'll give you some analysis.
All right, AVGO, let me pull them up for a second. I was prepared.
Report after the bell.
Yep, AVGO reported after the bell. Adjusted EPS for the first quarter, $5.12 versus a $5.04 estimate. Sales of $5.327 versus $5.32 billion. So a slight beat on that and a beat on the EPS. Good numbers there for Q1. As far as Q2 guidance goes, sales are coming in mostly in line, 4 to 5. They gave a really large range, so it's kind of hard to look at that with any real merit. But I mean, they beat on the Q1 numbers.
So thoughts here, just my initial thoughts here on AVGO is that there's still even if they miss big time, there's still that little underneath demand because you have the potential of, an Intel or somebody still looking at acquiring somebody. And the rumors were out there before. So if you get a significant pullback, which we kind of did, we got down to what? What did we get down to last night, Joel? 261? I thought I saw.
No, yeah. You got a couple spikes here. Lower. They're both at the same area. One of the spikes was 61.30. The other spike was 61.15. So that is where your underneath demand is.
So thoughts here, and I love it when a stock is in play and then reports and comes down on the earnings, because obviously it's coming down on the report, but if the stock's still in play, there's the opportunity to get it on the cheap, maybe after, and the rumors started on this around 252, 253. You can see the spike up that next morning, and we obviously got up over 270 on the rumors that Intel could be sniffing around. Those rumors have subsided. Nothing has materialized from that. But that being said, I think anytime this pulls back under 260, there's underneath demand from people who's saying, there's still at outside opportunity. The other thing is this company's got some value too. I mean, it's a 2.65% dividend. They make a ton of cash. What were the estimates, Spencer, on AVGO going forward? Just do a quick PE.
The guidance, it was 4.02 to $5.07 billion. So $4 to $5 billion is what that's the range.
What about dollars? I want to do a PE though. So do they have like the guidance for earnings going forward? Do they do fiscal year?
I didn't see that. No.
Okay. Okay, well, it's gonna be difficult to do a PE. Would you just say $5 billion? I'll just take a quick look, to see.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this chart is really in no man's land. I said, the spike into the 261 handle, so we'll keep an eye on that. I don't think I could get real excited until it goes green on the session. Yesterday's close was at 267.76, and above that, real big level. If it goes into super extra rally mode, you hit 73.85 on Tuesday, and then the all-time. Oh, that's a double top. Oh, I wish I'd been looking at that before. 73.85 was also your high on January 9th. But coming back on the downside, besides that pre-market low, your two-day low is at 255.15. But I don't know. I don't like playing a stock that they were going to take someone over. Now someone may take them over.
There's a lot of rumors in this sector. I mean, from a valuation perspective, they're supposed to make $5 next quarter. So if you said, and I don't know, like I'm the system I'm looking at says that it's looking at trailing PE, but let's say they're going to make $18-20 on the year, and I don't know, maybe that's out, but maybe it isn't with $5. You say $18-20, if you just even did simple like 5 times 420, $265 stock, things trading with multiple like 12. So it's fairly cheap compared to the market, a multiple of 19. You got a little bit of growth still happening there. So it's not out of the realm that somebody might say, hey, this is too cheap, I'm going to take it out. And there's still rumors that it could be Intel. We don't know that yet. But there's an underneath demand is what I'm saying there. On any significant pullback, I think you have buyers underneath. So I like the risk reward when you look at it from that perspective if the stock gets under 260. In the chat, Jazz is talking about, yes, I did play this last night as well. Qualcomm QCOM rumors. Spencer, give us the details here. Sounds like one of the chairman or old chairman is looking at taking this private.
Well, the old chairman is looking for some friends to get together with him and potentially make a bid. That's what's happening.
So Qualcomm. Okay, this is confusing because there's multiple headlines here this morning, but because the NXPI thing's still going on too. There's so much saga here. They're buying NXPI. There was rumors of Broadcom's going to buy, and they get squashed. Now there's rumors Qualcomm might just go private. QCOM is trading up $1.50 on that. It traded up actively last night. Showed the after hours chart, Joel, to 63, high 63s, and somebody's buying a ton of stock up there on these rumors. I actually got a little piece there. I was trying to buy more when the headline broke. I got a little per piece at 60.60, and I quickly sold it at 62.60 a few minutes later. Wish obviously that I would have got a bigger piece. I tried for a bigger piece, but it went really fast when that headline broke, and the Financial Times broke that headline. Stock popped up in a matter of seconds, really. Got up to over $63. I still own this in my investment account as well. I'm still sticking with it just because I think there's value here. Obviously, that's that feeling is being reiterated here when you get the chairman looking at potentially taking it private. So there's value. It's a matter of, is there a real buyer out there or not? Is this a real offer? Or is this something, like the Best Buy guy was doing years ago? Maybe, he's just trying to get the share price up for whatever reasons. Is he really sincerely looking for money? Maybe he's just, spinning his wheels. We don't know if this is going to materialize into an actual, take it out private or not. We don't know if he can get the financing. Don't know if he really wants to do it or not. He sounds like he wants to do it, but sounds like he doesn't have the money for it.
Okay. That spike was a 63.95. You've settled back in here, just consolidating here at 61.35. So keep an eye on that pre-market high. Hasn't been up near 64 here in quite some time. You had a 63.55 high back on March 6th. So there's your potential resistance point. If you want to be a cheapie and you wait for it to come back down, to fill the gap, you're only a buck away. Yesterday's high, 60.28, and your two-day high was 60.38. So little gap to fill here at 60.40. But if you think about it, I mean, yeah, it was in play. Now it's not in play. Now it's in play again. Still not acting real great, Dennis. Not real great price action. If this is, I mean, you get the pops and everything, but overall, fundamentally, it really doesn't seem like this company is going to be sold.
Yeah, well, we don't know. So it's just this. But the reason that I own it in my invest portfolio is I get a 3.72% dividend. I have the outside chance, almost like an option, that it does get bought. And if it doesn't, they got the 5G stuff going on. They're starting to figure some stuff out. They make some money. There is some value here. I'm a value investor. I'm sticking with it.
Okay. All right.
Jump over ULTA, John Dotson saying this stock has been all over the place. It got murdered after hours in the report. BTFD is already working. The BTFD almost got to be out there after hours buying the dips because they don't give them to you intraday anymore. Anyways, give us the numbers here, Spencer. Joel talked about that after hours action. It's come all the way back.
Wow.
Ulta yesterday, Q4 adjusted EPS 275 versus a 278 estimate. So they missed by 3 cents. Sales 1.93 versus 1.94 billion. So a slight miss on both those numbers. Comps up 8.8%. They announced a $625 million buyback plan for the Q1. They see sales coming in lower than the estimate, and EPS coming in at a range of $2.43 to $2.48. So overall, nothing in that report screams positivity, and yet here we are.
Buy the dip. Joel,
Yeah.
where did we get to last night?
Wow, we had a big bar there, Dennis. I don't know if you participated. You hit 212, and then you swooned all the way down to 187 even. You had some volume trade on
187. We were down $20.
Wow.
And we're all the way back. Man, it's got to be buying these dips. It's the dumbest market, really. Like, I mean, just from the perspective that it's like the same thing continues to work. We've talked about this BTFD for 2 years on the show, maybe 3 years on the show. I mean, every time, and we know, obviously, we had Kenny Glick coming on saying the same thing. That's all he's doing is buying the dips on the major stocks, and he's making good money doing it. It seems so simple that it's like it's hard to do it. But, and you know, it's always hard when there's blood in the water to come in. But I mean, these things come back not days, weeks, or months later. Sometimes they come back hours later. It's so hard to be shorting stocks, even on disappointing numbers. Here you are. If you're shorting the stock, and you look at the numbers and you say, okay, yeah, you know, it's gonna be a great day tomorrow. It's down $19. You go to, you just take off for a few hours, maybe go to bed, don't look at your screen. You'll come in this morning, it's up. You're like, what the hell happened? Well, nothing happened. They just decided to buy the dip again.
This stock's been beat up pretty well too, coming off that all-time high here. Boy, if you want a thorough analysis of this stock, we should have been in the chat yesterday between John Dodson, Angie Baby, Spinner. I mean, they were playing this stock. I think they were playing it for a little rip here. We are in the green here by 256 and 208.70. My level of control here will be your two-day high. Your two-day high is 209.49. That's buffeted, nice round number by 210. After that, looking for 213.30. That's your three-day high. I mean, you're probably going to get a lot of action on this. I think after this kind of comeback here, if you get a chance to bring it in flat on the session, yesterday's close was 206.14 here, but I mean, it's trying to get out of here. We'll see if it can continue to rally today.
John Dodson saying he would not be buying the dip, and Tiffany's here saying that the PE multiple is too high at 24 times going forward, and the guidance was in line. Spencer, give us those details here. It is a concern. This is breaking down through key technical support. The $100 psychological level is gone here right now. There is some stocks that you do not want to be buying the dip, so I completely agree with you. I mean, if you were buying the dip in Signet Jewelers, you're getting punished, and that was one that we actually didn't like for whatever reason too. We just had a feeling that one was going to continue lower. I don't have a great feeling about Tiffany's either, but it's not completely out of favor. So you got to just watch the trading action, and it starts to turn. Sometimes these things can get it back, but TIF numbers, Spencer.
$1.67 versus $1.64 on the EPS, 1.33 versus 1.31 billion on the sales. So a slight beat on both those numbers. Fiscal year 18 guidance coming in line.
Inline guidance, I agree, is never a good thing. They like to see guidance that is at least, a little bit above, if not a lot above. And Tiffany's has been an outperforming retailer for a long time. So this is one that probably needed to do better. So you got to often look at the charts too and look at expectations. I mean, it ran up in the report yesterday. It was actually trading up $2 last night ahead of the report. You had all kinds of resistance at 105. And now you get the collapse here on the somewhat disappointing report. When the stock's only a few percent off the all-time highs, I mean like 7-8%, it's a retailer, which obviously a lot of other retailers are significantly off the highs. I mean, it's not surprising that the stock is down. So I think I tend to agree with John here. I don't think this is going to be one that's going to bounce right back.
All right, you did get a pre-market low right now at 95.5, and you are getting a little bounce, but it's only $1 off that. I'm looking at a low. I mean, you got a gap fill here. But an interesting level, if we continue lower, 95.07. That was your low on December 14th. And then the next day, it might have been earnings because it closed at 99.34. So you're filling your gap right now from December 13th and 14th. But if you go another $1.50 lower, just be cognizant that was your December 13th low. And actually, I've seen like a lot of lows. I've seen 1, 2, wow. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lows in the 95 handle. This was back in December. So maybe not trying to lawn there, but if you're trying to cover short, get some bids out there at the 95 handle. If you don't get them, you're going to have to be buying this thing on the upswing, which we know is never easy.
J-Dot wants to know about Jabil Circuit, JBL. They did report here after the bell as well. This is bumping its head against a huge psychological level. Give us the numbers. We'll talk about that resistance.
JBL 66 cents versus a 62 cent estimate, sales of 5.3 versus 4.9 billion dollars. So beats on the Q2 numbers. Q3 guidance, EPS coming in line, 35 to 55 cents is what they said. 44 cents was the estimate, so right in line with that. Sales guidance coming in line as well.
Numbers okay. Stock trading up at such a resistance level. I want nothing to do with this at $30 because this is where the resistance of all resistance is. I mean, you go back to late November, you hit this 30.02 right on the kisser. If you go out longer than that, 30 has always been some trouble. We did get through it, and we got up to 32, almost $32 at 31.5 multiple times in the summer of 2017. But it's come a long ways back here. 30 is a big psychological level, coincides with that old high. This is a tough level for it at $30.
Yeah,
if it could get through, now it starts trading 30, 20, 30, 30, then it's a different story. But it is right there at 30. Let's see what it does here.
Great analysis there, Dennis. Your pre-market high is 30.64. But you've come in back under 30 monthly highs there. I mean, what more can you ask for? The 2 monthly highs you mentioned from November, December, just above $30, and then 2 monthly highs at 31.50. So, but you know what, Dennis? It's holding up here. It's up to 29.80. Is it bid offered? What's the price action?
Holding up here, but there's not a lot of action here. Last night, we should go look at the action last night, what it was doing. Did it break through 30 last night?
Yep, it did. It got to 30.64.
I'm just trying to see how much volume though was up there. When did it do that?
Did that must have been when the number came out.
When the number came out. But then it's been trouble since 30 cents. And here you are, and you're just hanging out at 30 this morning. I'm still going to say it's bid way down 29.53. Offer is at 30. So it's wide really right there. And the offer is right at the resistance point. There's somebody that's looking at that chart and saying it ain't going through 30. I bet there's multiple people. And if there's enough people there, it doesn't go through it. It's almost like self-fulfilling. So $30 is the number here. We'll see what it does in the regular session. Like I said, if we can take it out with some volume, I would imagine, let me go look at, just make sure there's nothing in the book, because Jabil Circuit is a New York stock. There's nothing in there right now. It's so early though too. So keep an eye on it. If it can get up there through 30, then it gets interesting. But at 30, it's tough buy.
Okay, we'll look at it here. A couple monthly highs. A couple 100,000 shares traded on that bracket above 30. So I like it. I agree with you. That's a good level. Keep an eye on.
This market is moving here right now.
Yeah, 57.75. SPOOs are moving.
Give us the economic numbers.
Well, we got a housing starts. Is that what you want?
Housing starts. Yeah, give it to us.
You really want it? All right. Housing starts for February.
We're moving.
1.24 versus the 1.29 million estimate. Building permits for February, 1.3 versus 1.32 million estimate. Building permits lower. Housing starts lower. That's it.
I don't know what to say here. A lot of buy imbalances just posted as well. Again, this is quad witch, so you're going to see buy imbalances. Then they're going to flip to sell. Then they're all going to be buy. They're going to be sell. So it all matters what net happens at 9:30. So when all the money's in there. But right now, it's a lot of buy imbalances across the board. It could change here in the next 5-10 minutes. So as of right now, though, it looks like the market wants to open higher.
Yeah, pretty quiet. I mean, you really only have a 9.25 pre-market range, so that's pretty tame. 117,000 contracts have traded there in the June contract, so pretty tight. I mean, I really can't give you. I mean, my 3-star levels. Boom! You have Wednesdays and Thursdays lows very close to each other. 45, 27, 45, and 27, 48 and a quarter. And then, Thursday's high is way up. It's not way up at 27, 67 and a quarter. But I just want to point out one thing here before we move on. Spencer, could you bring up like a 15-minute SPOO chart from, going back, including yesterday's action?
Done.
Get that up there, because Dennis, I don't think we were on the line when we had a quick dip. I believe it was around 9 o'clock last night. We went to 27.45 in the SPOOs and quickly recovered. And then yesterday, after trading up to 27.67 and a quarter, we had that big break. There was a little bit of Trump news. And where do we come down and find support? 2745.75. 3 ticks away from the pre-market low. So if you don't think the big boys are out there playing the same levels at night that are playing there in the afternoon or during the regular session, you're mistaken, because they're there. And, that ended up missing it by 3 ticks. I was hoping to test that level to try a lower risk long. Obviously, other people were thinking about that. And so right now, that 50 and a quarter, to me, we are 9 sticks above it, or actually 7 handles above it. That's a big level. So keep an eye on that. Just wanted to point out something in the pre-market action that has implications for the regular trading session.
Stick out one more stock here before we bring Nikki on. Adobe ADBE reported, and it has been just up ever since the report. I don't think it had any dip at all. This is new all-time highs here for Adobe. Stock just continues to go and continues to power higher. It was $100 a year just over a year ago. Now it's $228. Spencer, details.
The Q1 adjusted EPS, $1.55 versus $1.44. Sales, $2.08 versus $2.05 billion. On the conference call, they did give some guidance. They said that their Q2 guidance, sales $2.15 billion versus $2.14 billion estimate. EPS $1.53 versus $1.51.
Stock just off to the races. I mean, it's tough to short stocks that are making new all-time highs, especially it had a few days of consolidation. Now it goes here again. I don't know if it's going to go into full rocket ship mode here or not, but it sure is, at least the pre-market.
You got a number. I mean, it's $2 away. You traded up to 230. Not a lot
big
of volume.
Number.
Yeah.
Psychological.
Yeah, less than 500 shares traded up there. You are getting some good volume trading here between 227 and 228. So 230, that's a minor target. If I was long this thing and we dip below 226.55, That's been the high or been the low since you made that high. But I don't know. Ring the register. Like, what did Mark Jenkins say yesterday? What's that crazy stock that Dennis loves to trade? RKDA.
Yeah. That thing was nuts yesterday. What is the symbol again? RK? I forget too, Daryl. I gotta look at my sheet. RK.
DA.
Yeah.
It traded up to 66.56.
Just wow.
And then down to 35.36.
Major risk. We were talking about it. I mean, okay, yeah. So here it takes out the high, opens up way up there, then collapses. And then, you go from 65 down to almost 35. Stock almost falls 50% intraday. I mean, these things are major rewards, I guess, major risk. Too risky for me.
I just want to have our traders note that the volume tapered off yesterday from 13.9 million to 5.8 million. So who's going to be caught holding the bag in this one? We'll see. All right, we got a special guest coming on here, and Dennis and I, it's something we've been doing some research in. You want to make the introduction there?
I didn't realize you guys were doing research in video game. You guys playing video games?
Esports. We're getting into it. Me and Joel are getting into esports.
Joel, what are you playing? Xbox One? Is that what you're on?
Dennis, should we reveal what we're doing here? Or
no.
No.
But we're just researching esports.
All right, so
let's bring Nick.
All right. We're on the line. We're on the line with Nick Donato now. He is, or I should say, he's.
You got to show him.
I am showing him.
I see Nick.
I'm showing him. He is on the Benzinga news desk. He's one of our analysts. He is Benzinga's expert on this sort of stuff. So you guys ask him whatever. I don't even know what you guys are going to talk about.
So do you guys want to know why I'm here right now?
We want to hear about esports.
Okay.
I mean, this is what a lot of people are talking about now. Obviously, you got 3 publicly traded companies that are definitely participating in this with Take-Two, EA, and Activision Blizzard. But talk about esports just in general. What is it? And what do you see in the future in esports?
Yeah, so esports is just competitive online gaming, to give a really short Cliff Note version. One of the bigger ones right now is Overwatch League, and that's an Activision game. So they definitely, of all of them, I'd say they have the biggest esports presence of the U.S. publicly listed companies. They also have a game, Heroes of the Storm, that's big on the esports scene. But the reason why I'm here is because Fortnite and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has kind of just taken the U.S. by storm last night. And they're not esports games, Dennis. I want to make that very clear.
Okay.
I want to make that very clear. These guys, you start off on a map, and it's a new genre. It's called the Battle Royale genre. You start off on a map, 100 people, and basically what happens is it's the Hunger Games of video games, and it's a shooter. So you're with yourself or you're with a team, and you have to be the last one on the map, and it's just absolutely taken over.
So who owns Fortnite?
Epic Games, and they're not publicly traded right now.
Okay.
So Morgan Stanley and KeyBank came out with notes in the past week saying, yeah, this game is so popular, it's actually like we have to put out individual notes on this random video game that is just kind of, taking the space by force. They actually think that near-term estimates are going to be down about 5 to 7 cents for each of the 3 companies, Activision, EA, and Take-Two. And to go off your point, Dennis, Activision, in my opinion, has the best esports games. Personally, the ones that I play, the ones that I watch. I think they're also the most exposed to Fortnite and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds because they have other shooters that are kind of in the same vein, such as Call of Duty. I don't know if you have you heard of that, Joel? Call of Duty?
I've heard of Call of Duty. I don't know if Joel has.
Yeah, Call of Duty, Destiny.
Joel plays all these games. He's a closet video gamer there.
I knew he is.
Yeah.
Once he gets done trading stocks, he plays video games.
Yep. Pac-Man, Asteroids. Yeah.
He's still on that Atari.
I want to play competitive Pac-Man. When are they coming out with that?
He's still.
I was good at that when I was a kid, man. I had the little handheld Pac-Man game, and I tell you, if I could have competed with other people, I could have won some prizes because I was really good at Pac-Man.
Dennis, you seem like a Sega guy, I must say.
No, when I was Nintendo, I never liked Sega. I was never into Sega. I was always into Nintendo. But anyways, the games have changed so much now. And I mean, obviously the world and the environment has changed so much because now you can compete online and compete in these tournaments. But apparently there's just a lot of people that watch this stuff. Yeah. And that's what the esports is all about. It's not so much, the competitive video gaming. It's the people that are watching the competitive video gaming. And, and I was in shock to, find out that, how many people, they can fill stadiums with like 15,000 people to watch people play video games. And that is shocking to me.
It's interesting, too, because a lot of the NBA teams actually have esports affiliates that play in Overwatch League, in League of Legends, other various different popular esports games. And, what's really interesting is that Fortnite and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, they're not esports technically because there's no like pro teams that get together and play against each other, but it's a huge content play. And, one of the beneficiaries of this is actually Amazon. They own Twitch, which is where a lot of gamers go to stream their content. And this guy named Ninja actually was able to get Drake and Travis Scott.
Drake, I'm not sure they know who Drake is.
Oh my God!
I
forget my audience.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
I'm actually impressed. Okay, I'm very impressed.
Don't bother me.
And so basically,
it's a school, right?
Yeah.
Drake University.
God. Anyway, so they actually broke their record concurrence when Drake and this popular streamer Ninja came on. It's taken Twitter over. It was trending actually yesterday.
Do you know how many people were watching?
600,000 concurrent streamers, which is a ton of people. And this is what I do. I don't have cable. I'm their target audience. I don't have cable. I do have Twitch.
Do you watch this stuff?
I watch.
Do you watch these videos?
I probably watch, I would say, 10 hours a week at least. And that's
you watch
super new to
you.
me.
What is the trail from watching? So it's difficult for me to understand because I'm a traditionalist. Yeah. I look at watching. In hockey, I watch my Edmonton Oilers, and I'm a diehard fan. I love watching my Detroit Tigers play baseball. These are sports. But what is the thrill about watching somebody play a video game?
It's the skill. There's it's a really relaxed industry. I kind of like the informality of it. I'm also a sports guy too. Joel can attest. To that.
Can I? It seems like to me that it's the same thing as watching sports. You do something. Yes. You watch someone who's really good at something. Do the thing.
You're not watching, King James jump over, a 7-foot guy last night and slam the basketball through the net.
Right.
You're watching somebody press some buttons.
But I'll watch someone in Fortnite get 32 kills and be like, oh my God, I can barely get 2 kills.
Right. So
because you play the video game.
It's the same thing. You watch sports and you say, oh my God, I can't do that. He can do that. I can't. It's the same concept. Watching someone do something on a video game. And, wow, I cannot do that, but this guy can.
Going this girl. Another trading idea off of this, I know BTIG always talks about the unbundling and how they, attack Disney a lot for, their large sports contracts that they often try to do. Going into the future, I think this is the disconnect between maybe Joel and kind of Dennis and my generation is that I would rather watch Twitch for free, not have to pay for cable and, catch highlights here and there on Twitter or Facebook for my sports games, and then just watch an hour or two of streaming of my favorite, video game players. That's me personally. I mean, that's not for everyone, obviously, but it's definitely something where you see. I guess I just don't.
You know what?
I think it's
I
viewing
can
habits.
I can relate a little bit to this. So, and I'm just thinking here, and this is actually interesting now because I'm thinking of an example. I used to play a lot of Super Mario Brothers 3 when I was a kid. I love Super Mario Brothers 3. And I watched this video. Somebody showed me and sent me this video of this guy, doing a walkthrough of Super Mario Brothers 3. And they beat the whole game in 8 minutes. And they are like just crushing it. And I sat there and watched it 3 or 4 times. I was like, that is unbelievable.
The amount of
I guess if you played the games, then you can really relate to it. Mm-hmm. Because that was the only video game. I've played video games for years. But because I played that as a kid, even though watching that video as an adult, that YouTube video, so it was like Super Mario Brothers walkthrough or 3 or whatever, I really was like, wow, I was in awe of that. So maybe I can relate to this.
Yeah, and not to get too deep divey into it, but you look at the 4 major sports. I mean, hockey is kind of declining in the U.S.
Like got there.
Yeah, you got basketball is the one that is going to remain strong. I still believe, they do a great job marketing. NFL has their problems with concussions, obviously.
I agree.
Political. I mean, a lot of times I just want to go watch a streamer because it's just very easy. It's very like, I don't have to worry about all the crazy politics of whatever sport it is, or, baseball isn't that
Nick, I got a question.
Yeah,
Nick, I got a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a question for you. Do you see, like your kids, 10, 15, 20 years down the line, do you see like this being like part of like the high school sports?
Yes.
Like you go out for like the witchcraft team or the
they're already
Game
offering
of
scholarships
Roses or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Do you?
They're already offering scholarships, and
scholarships.
Yeah, they're offering scholarships. There's colleges that are offering esports scholarships. I mean, there is money in the space. It's interesting to see the shift changing. I mean, viewing habits are changing, content habits are changing, and I think because of that, what my generation watches is going to shift money from traditional sports. Not all of it, obviously. I'm still a huge sports guy. It's going to shift some of that money over to esports. I mean, you see the big money getting in. Once you see big money like Mark Cuban investing in esports teams in Overwatch League, I mean, something's there. There is something to be made.
Okay, let's say, Nick, let's say we're a believer. Let's say, no, we think this esports is the future and every high school is going to have a team. What is the best way that we can invest in this space right now? Is it only those 3 companies, or is there other companies going to be coming public?
Mm-hmm.
What's the best way to try to invest and capture, some market or make some money off of esports?
So back to trading ideas. Let's get so Activision, I think, is the most exposed near term. They have, like I said before, ATVI. They have 3 sports games that are shooters. They're online multiplayers. They're similar. EA, they have sports games, which are kind of just always staples. Those are cash cows. You're going to get your money there. I don't think they'll be quite as affected. Take-Two, their GTA Online, I believe it's 18% of their total revenue comes from that game. And it's, I wouldn't say it's similar, but it will definitely, Morgan Stanley said that they would be impacted by that, their revenues, because of Fortnite and PlayerUnknown's Battleground. An outside the box one, like I mentioned before, is Amazon. I mean, they have honestly, it's a trading idea for almost everything. Because of Twitch, I mean, you have the content factor that Amazon gets through Twitch. I think another another idea, I guess, would be to look at Disney again and say, hey, do you guys have enough presence in this space? It would maybe be a short idea. I don't know. Down the road, it might be just.
What about like chips? The chip stocks all benefit from this too, because you got have a lot of powerful computers to play some of these games. Is that all a play in there too? Like this is semiconductor play as well?
Yeah. You know what? I wouldn't go that far to say it's a trading idea off of that personally. Okay. But you saw NVIDIA absolutely rip. It didn't hurt that gaming has gotten so huge, obviously. Okay. Definitely selling more units because of that. But overall, I would say watch for near-term pressures on Activision and Take-Two. EA, I don't think it'll be quite as bad. And,
and this is pressure from Fortnite?
From Fortnite and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Okay. So let me be clear on that. And
is Fortnite now who owns Fortnite?
Epic Games. Epic Games.
Are they planning to go public, or we don't know?
We don't know yet, but you can never. Activision and EA, they have a ton of money. You never know if they could. Maybe they want a presence in the battle royale genre that these two occupy.
I just go buy them.
Didn't ATVI just swallow up like Blizzard, right? Like they.
Oh, that was a while ago,
right? But they have the cash to just do that.
Yeah, those two definitely have the cash to do it. Take-Two. I gotta check their, financials again. They might be able to, but I just think Fortnite and PUBG are so big right now that Activision and EA would have to get a presence in the battle royale game space, or they're gonna have to try to take them over. And at a certain point, it's gonna get expensive because these games are so popular. Just quick fact, really quick. Last up-to-date PlayerUnknown's Battleground has sold 30 million units at $30 a piece. Fortnite is still free. that's another big reasons they're getting disrupted is because it's a free game and it's getting crazy popular and they continuously update it. So just quality stuff there.
All right, Nick Donato from our news desk.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Nick, thanks,
Go green.
Thanks so much.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay. You know why? Because they're going to play Syracuse, and that's Emily's school if Syracuse can win. So, all right. Nicky Donato does a great job on the news desk along with Brent, Ty, and Lizzie. Thanks for coming on. We're going to have to do that again soon.
S&P.
We got 1 minute. We're going to bring in Sean here. Udall on the fly, calling him out in California. Is he in California or is he in Arizona?
Arizona.
He's in Arizona. So he's only 2 hours behind us now because they don't do their time change like us, do they?
No, they do not do the daylight.
Yeah, so it's nice for him now. Imbalances are still mixed a little bit. There's some buy imbalances, some sell imbalances. It's mixed here right now. Actually, a lot of them just flipped to sell a few minutes ago, and that's maybe why the SPs are starting to leak here a little bit. Just keep an eye out, keep updating you with that. But let's get Nick. Let's talk some tech stocks.
Sean, you mean?
Or let's get Sean.
Yeah, I'm working on that. Do one more while I grab Sean.
Okay, just jump over to ratings land here for a second. We got Bluebird Bio taking a licking here this morning, and it's down $7. And you've got an analyst coming out with a sell rating on it. Obviously, this is a stock that's potentially in play, but the analyst this morning downgrading the stock. Favis, who is Favis?
Favis Mavis, I don't know, but
Favis initiates with a sell rating. Oh no, wait. Janny says Bluebird therapies are encouraging. No, Janny's a neutral. It's Favis? I don't even know who Favis is. Anyways, they're initiating with a sell rating and stock's getting beats.
Your pre-market low is 206 even. That's taking out yesterday's low. Your daily charts tell you take a look at 206 even because 206.15, that was your low on March 5th. So that has to hold. That absolutely has to hold. If not, you're trading under $200 at 198.51. And Lucas Ribeiro wants to know about ExxonMobil here, Dennis, and he wants to know if you think that it's a buy. Now, I know you're already in it, but man, oh man, this thing cannot distance itself from.
I think it's going to see 70. Yeah. I honestly think it's going to see 70. I bought a half position, and I originally went with the plan. I nibbled in at 75 and said I was going to buy the rest of it at 70 if it gets there. So I'm still sticking to my plan. I was just underexposed in oil. I wanted some oil stocks. I like ExxonMobil. I do believe it's still one of the best in the space. I like the dividend you get. It's my kind of stock, but it is completely out of favor here right now. Cannot seem to catch a bid. Oil itself, too, it's just kind of, if you look at the chart here, you got a nice pennant forming here on USO, just kind of hanging out. It is consolidation station.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, if it takes out, on the USO, if you just want to look at that, where you can look at the, obviously the futures as well. But I'm just looking at the USO chart. If you can take out $12, you'd be, getting a licking here again. I don't know. I've got concerns here with oil right now. That's why I'm laying off buying any more ExxonMobil until it gets to 70. At 70, I think it just gets too cheap.
Yeah, keep an eye on that 73.53 or 73.50 area, Lucas. You've had 3 lows on that area, and now you're just kind of hanging through there. So if you are trying to long, you definitely want to cut bait through there. Maybe, I don't know if you're a short player at all, but I bet you there's some nice sell stops up building up there. But XOM's looking a little bit heavy here. Are we gonna get?
Yep, I'm working on getting Sean. I got this new Skype update, and Skype.
We can't see you, Spencer. You're
never
right.
update your software.
Never update your Skype. But I'm gonna try to bring. I'm gonna try to bring Sean in. Let me see if I can do this.
Especially Microsoft software, they don't know what they're doing with updates.
Skype. You know what? We're taking a quick break, and I'll get Sean on in a second. So we're gonna take a quick break, and I'm gonna grab Sean Udall from the tech stock strategist. So we'll be right back.
Good morning,
all right, we got
Benzinga.
We got Sean. How's it going, Sean Udall? Tech stock strategist. How we doing?
It's going good. I can't find anything to buy right now, but it's going good.
What do you mean you can't find anything to buy? Is everything went up that much?
Kind of. I mean, yeah. No, I mean, I literally down to a very small number of names and only one.
You must have something
subsector.
Give us something.
Technology.
Give us something. You got something to buy.
Yeah, well, I still think, you know, the easiest trade in the next 2 weeks is to short a few things. But anyway, so if I had to go one large cap stock, period, it would be Qualcomm. Don't even have to think about it, hesitate on it. And I actually think the stock should probably be trading right now between like 80 and 85. And I think
on value.
Oh yeah, I mean it's literally trading at something like a 78 to an 82% discount to Avago. So, you know, things are just lunatic.
Just explain that to our listeners. What did you
say? If you look at things like EBITDA and price to sales multiples and price to cash flow and price to free cash flow, so kind of any or all of those things. You know, Qualcomm is one of the strongest cash generating companies in the world. Put it this way. Here's the best way to explain it to everybody. Everybody remembers how cheap Apple was in early 2013. So Apple was trading at 4 times net cash and had, I think, a free cash flow yield of between like 14 and 17%. Qualcomm is as cheap as Apple was at a pre-split price of $380 in 2013. That's how cheap it is.
All right. Go ahead, Dennis. You want to follow up on that?
Yeah. So what do you think of all this saga that's happening around it? I mean, you had a potential bid from AVGO, obviously trading up at, you know, or potentially bidding for $82. And then Trump trumps that, and, you know, they can't ever buy them ever again. And then last night you get this rumor that the former chairman's trying to put money together to take it private. So lots of rumors materializing around here. Is that all just, you know, it doesn't matter to you though? You're just looking at it from a value perspective, and that, you know, would just be gravy if it gets taken over.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be gravy if it got taken over. It's very similar to sort of Micron at 10 to 15 range, or more like 10 to 12. What's the Twitter, when Twitter was, you know, what did I always say about Twitter? That Twitter would never get bought out at a fire sale price. Same thing. Well, there's a company that generates, you know, almost 20 billion a year in cash flow is not.
Did we lose Sean? I think we did. I think potentially what happened is we just lost Sean, Joel, and Dennis in one fell swoop. Hold on 1 second, folks. I'm going to see if I can grab them back. But I think I have a bit of a Skype bug on my hands. If I can't get them back, then I think this is a pretty good time to wrap the show for the week. It is 8:58, so I only have 8:59 now on my clock. So a couple minutes left. I don't know if they're still with us, but in any case, I want to make 2 quick announcements. First one that I made yesterday. If you use Benzinga Pro at all, we are starting a new series where we highlight you know, our customers and our users and sort of how they use the platform, or really how they trade. That's kind of the more important thing, is how they go about, you know, looking at the markets. If you want to talk to me about that and, you know, be featured in an article, anonymously or not, you can just email me, spencerisrael@benzinga.com. That was my first announcement. Second announcement is the Benzinga Women's Wealth Forum is next week. It is Thursday. It is March 21st in Boston. I believe that's Thursday. I hope it's Thursday. Well, anyway, it's March 21st in Boston. If you go to bzforum.com and you enter the promo code PMP, as in PreMarket Prep, you will get a 50% off ticket to that. I had one more announcement, and I'm not remembering what it was. So that's all I got, folks. I hope you enjoyed our show today, and I hope you enjoyed our show this week. If I can get Sean and Dennis back, I will I'll hang out for a second, but I don't think they're coming back with us yet today. They kind of fell off the face of the earth. But Anyway, that's it for us. Hope you guys have had a good week. Hope you've had a good morning and you have a good rest of your day. We will be back with you folks on Monday. Have a good weekend.